Welcome everybody back to All About Articulation, where we do a deeper dive into the articulation of some of your favorite action figures while glossing over things like sculpt, paint apps, character history, accessories, because I suck at that, and there are already so many great reviews on YouTube who do that already, so why waste your time? Today, we are reviewing the Marvel Legends Age of Apocalypse Sugarman, I believe the Sugarman Build-A-Figure wave. This is Dark Beast. I am not familiar with Age of Apocalypse. That storyline sort of came out after I kind of stopped collecting. I stopped collecting in high school. I got into sports and got into girls, and I was still sort of remotely connected to comic books and whatnot, but I really wasn't too into it. I kind of, just kind of kept up with one eye. So I'm not familiar with the whole Beast, Dark Beast. I don't even know if this is Hank McCoy. I should have looked it up, but then again, I don't know character history, right? I said that. You nerds can correct me and call me an idiot to your heart's content in the comments below, and I welcome it. But in terms of figures, this is very, very similar to the Beast figure that came out. I believe it was last year in the Caliban wave. It's the same exact body mold. Did I just knock the camera out? Oh, guys, sorry. This is a very, very unprofessional setup I got going on here. So this is the original Beast. This is the new Dark Beast. Same body mold, same articulation. If you are familiar with this Beast, you know what to get. The main difference, it comes with the same exact pair of hands too. Same pair of hands, but just darker and grayer. And of course, different head sculpts, and we'll get into that just a little bit because the head sculpt here does affect the articulation. He comes with this, the one Build-A-Figure part that he comes with is, I guess, Sugarman's Thor hammer. I call it a Thor hammer because that's what it looks like, but it says sugar on it. So, I guess one's a Thor hammer, one's a sugar hammer. I don't know what happens when you get hit with it. You get diabetes. That's the effect of this hammer, but it does fit into his hand. Both this hand, what they collectors are calling his book reading hand, it slides right in there. So you can have a hammer holding hand and a closed fist, or you could put on the other hand the more weapon gripping hand, and of course that fits there. So you could have Dark Beast hold this hammer in either hand. And I know, this is not his hammer. This is Sugarman's hammer. But I don't care. I ain't building Sugarman. I just, out of the entire wave, I looked at it and I said, I'm not really too connected with any of these characters, and I don't really want any of these figures except for Beast. He just looks so damn cool. The legs are new. Obviously, it's a new sculpt. He's got like these Colossus pants, but in terms of articulation, it's exactly the same. And yeah, that head. Let me show you that head. How cool is this sculpt? I mean, look at that. That is such a cool head. The one thing though I do want to say is he's got a thick mane of hair in the back, and of course, once I see the thick mane of hair, Marvel Legends, I just groan. I go, oh no, here we go. No articulation. As opposed to the old Blue Beast, he could look down that far, which of course is customary, but then because of the lack of hair back here, or lack of anything back here, you can push his head back that far up so he can crouch down like a beast, and he can look forward. Excuse me. Social distancing, please. The Dark Beast, however, with all that thick hair in the back, it was a lot harder. Last night, I kind of cheated. I always try not to do too much modifying before I do the review because I want you guys to see what these figures are like right out of the box. But I said, you know what, I could explain it. It's not that difficult to do on video. I dipped this head in I boiled some water, dipped this head in the bowl, waited about 30-40 seconds, took it out, it was nice and soft, and I just pulled the hair back. So out of the box, the back of the hair, it came not straight down, but it was a lot more down. And when the hair is down, it obviously affects the movement of the head backwards. But because I lifted it up as far as I can, and then I ran it under cold water to freeze it in place. Those of you who don't know, hot water softens the plastic, and then you can mold it and move it and manipulate it. And then once you get into the position that you like, run it immediately with cold water, and it freezes in place, or at least close to that effect. So now, as you see, the back of the hair is it's flatter, more horizontal. So when you snap the head back on, you see that it does. I mean, to some people that might look ugly. I totally get it. This might not be a thing. It's not for everybody. But because it's more lifted up, you can get Dark Beast to look slightly more up, which helps in his hunkered down beast position, and he can look straight at you. Right? Okay. Okay, yeah, you know what? I'll do his articulation. Even though it's the exact same one as the blue one here. This one, he stands when you extend his feet on legs and make him stand straight up. He stands, if I can get him to stand, because he's got a lot going on here. He doesn't. Okay, he's not going to cooperate. So I'll just have to make the poor audience watch me as I do what I should have done if I was a real professional reviewer. He stands at about 7, a little over 7, between 7 and 7.25. Maybe at 7.25. Yeah, if you count his hair, he stands at 7.25 inches height from tip top to the head to the bottom. Like we already went over his neck articulation, right, and head. He has good, or decent, I would say decent shoulder articulation. There he is in the hot tub pose doing his wingspan. He has a true butterfly joint. It goes all the way back, all the way back. But of course, you go all the way back, it gets in the way of the hair, so you're not going to get too much head and neck articulation when you do that. He has shoulder swivel, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows that go in really, really well. I mean, that's beyond 45 on both sides. He comes with 2 hands, and depending on what you want him to do, he's got different hands. You know, the hands are just hands. They don't articulate other than at the wrist, and we all know that already. He has no waist swivel, but he does have a ball joint in the upper torso, so you can get a good sort of circular range of motion, and he does have an ab crunch at the lower. So it's a ball up top, ab hinge at the bottom. So you can get a lot of cool strongman poses. Alright, and he does get a decent amount of split. He gets, there he is doing the Glenn Webb split. That's how far down he can go in a split position while both feet are flat on the ground. Double jointed knees, not quite kicking his butt. Really good, typical Marvel Legends ankle pivot and ankle hinge. Toe articulation, which is of course, it's a necessity and a must-have for a beast. And that's about it. Yeah, I was kind of, I didn't know what to expect. I love Beast. He was one of my favorite characters growing up as a kid. I saw this in in some advanced previews, and I said, oh, he looks so cool, I want to get him. But he's definitely better in person than in the photographs that I've seen. And I'm so glad, even though it is just sort of a repaint of this Blue Beast, and I have no connection with this Dark Beast character at all. I don't know anything about him. It's a hell of a figure, and I do like him a lot. And I recommend it, man. If you can get your hands on him, get him. He just came out. I just got him last night. So, yep. Dark Beast, everybody. Enjoy.